gentlemen, Miss Claire Bloom.
Poetry. I, too, dislike it. There are things that are important beyond all this fiddle. Reading it, however, with a perfect contempt for it, one discovers in it, after all, a place for the genuine. Hands that can grasp, eyes that can dilate, hair that can rise if it must. These things are important, not because a high-sounding interpretation can be put upon them, but because they are useful. When they become so derivative as to become unintelligible, the same thing may be said for all of us, that we do not admire what we cannot understand. The bat holding on upside down or in quest of something to eat, elephants pushing, a wild horse taking a roll, a tireless wolf under a tree, the immovable critic twitching his skin like a horse that feels a flea, the baseball fan, the statistician. Nor is it valid to discriminate against business documents and school books. All these phenomena are important. One must make a distinction, however. When dragged into prominence by half poets, the result is not poetry. Nor till the poets among us can be literalists of the imagination, above insolence and triviality, and can present for inspection imaginary gardens with real toads in them, shall we have it. In the meantime, if you demand on the one hand the raw material of poetry in all its rawness, and that which is, on the other hand, genuine, then you are interested in poetry.
Title of poem, Poetry. The poet, Marianne. The reader, Claire Bloom. Ms. Bloom will read for Camera 3 today a personal selection of poetry spanning 6 centuries. Currently in the outrage, Miss Bloom has starred in films and on stage in such well-remembered productions as Limelight, Look Back in Anger, Richard III, and Rashomon. Her first selections for us now are 3 medieval carols: the Cherry Tree Carol, Our Lady's Song, and Carol.
Joseph was an old man, and an old man was he, when he wedded Mary in the land of Galilee. Joseph and Mary walked through an orchard good, where were cherries and berries, so red as any blood. Oh, then bespoke Mary, so meek and so mild, Pluck me one cherry, Joseph, for I am with child. Oh, then bespoke Joseph with words most unkind, Let him pluck thee a cherry that brought thee with child. Oh, then bespoke the babe within his mother's womb, Bow down the tallest tree for my mother to have some. Then bowed down the highest tree unto his mother's hand. Then she cried, See, Joseph, I have cherries at my command. Then Mary plucked a cherry as red as the blood. Then Mary went home with her heavy load. Jesu, sweet Son dear, on poor full bed list thou hear, and that me grieveth sore, for thy cradle is as a bier, ox and ass be'th thy fear. Weep I may therefore. Jesu, sweet, be not wroth, though I have not clout nor cloth thee on for to fold, thee on to foldy nor to wrap, for I have not clout nor lap. But lay thou thy feet to my pap, and stay thee from the cold. I sing of a maiden that is makerless, king of all kings to her son she chose. He came also still there his mother was, as dew in April that falleth on the grass. He came also still to his mother's bower, as dew in April that falleth on the flower. He came also still there his mother lay, as dew in April that falleth on the spray. Mother and maiden was never none but she. Well may such a lady God's mother be. Now, I'm going to read The Journey of the Magi by T.S. Eliot. A cold coming we had of it. Just the worst time of the year for a journey, and such a long journey. The ways deep and the weather sharp, the very dead of winter, and the camels galled, sore-footed, refractory, lying down in the melting snow. There were times we regretted the summer palaces on slopes, the terraces, and the silken girls bringing sherbet, and the camel men cursing and grumbling and running away and wanting their liquor and women, and the night fires going out and the lack of shelters, and the cities hostile and the towns unfriendly and the villages dirty and charging high prices. A hard time we had of it. At the end, we preferred to travel all night, sleeping in snatches, with the voices singing in our ears, saying that this was all folly. Then, at dawn, we came down to a temperate valley, wet below the snow line, smelling of vegetation, with a running stream and a watermill beating the darkness, and 3 trees on the low sky, and an old white horse galloped away in the meadow. Then we came to a tavern with vine leaves over the lintel, 6 hands at an open door dicing for pieces of silver, and feet kicking the empty wineskins. But there was no information, and so we continued and arrived at evening, not a moment too soon, finding the place. It was, you may say, satisfactory. All this was a long time ago, I remember, and I would do it again. But set down this, set down this. Were we led all that way for birth or death? There was a birth, certainly. We had evidence and no doubt. I had seen birth and death, but had thought they were different. This birth was hard and bitter agony for us, like death, our death. We returned to our places, these kingdoms, but no longer at ease here in the old dispensation with an alien people clutching their gods. I should be glad of another death. So, we'll go no more a-roving, so late into the night, though the heart be still as loving and the moon be still as bright. For the sword outwears its sheath, and the soul wears out the breast, and the heart must pause to breathe, and love itself have rest. Though the night was made for loving, and the day returns too soon, yet we'll go no more a-roving by the light of the moon. Poem by Sir Philip Sidney. My true love hath my heart, and I have his. By just consent, one for the other given, I hold his dear, and mine he cannot miss. There never was a better bargain driven. My true love hath my heart, and I have his. His heart in me keeps me and him in one. My heart in him his thoughts and senses guides. He loves my heart, for once it was his own. I cherish his, because in me it bides. My true love hath my heart, and I have his. When I was 21, I heard a wise man say, give crowns and pounds and guineas, but not your heart away. Give pearls away and rubies, but keep your fancy free. But I was 21, no use to talk to me. When I was 21, I heard him say again, the heart out of the bosom was never given in vain. 'Tis paid with sighs aplenty and sold for endless rue. And I am 22, and oh, 'tis true, 'tis true. This is a poem by Ezra called The River Merchant's Wife, a Letter. While my hair was still cut straight across my forehead, I played about the front gate, pulling flowers. You came by on bamboo stilts, playing horse. You walked about my seat, playing with blue plums. And we went on living in the village of Chokan, two small people without dislikes or suspicions. At 14, I married, my lord, you. I never laughed, being bashful. Lowering my head, I looked at the wall. Called to 1,000 times, I never looked back. At 15, I stopped scowling. I desired my dust to be mingled with yours forever and forever and forever. Why should I climb the lookout? At 16, you departed. You went into far Kutoyen by the river of swirling eddies, and you have been gone 5 months. The monkeys make sorrowful noise overhead. You dragged your feet when you went out. By the gate now, the moss is grown, the different mosses, too deep to clear them away. The leaves fall early this autumn, in wind. The paired butterflies are already yellow with August over the grass in the west garden. They hurt me. I grow older. If you are coming down through the narrows of the river Kyang, please let me know beforehand, and I will come out to meet you as far as Cho Fu Sa. Theodore Roethke, The Waking. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I feel my fate in what I cannot fear. I learn by going where I have to go. We think by feeling, what is there to know? I hear my being dance from ear to ear. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. Of those so close beside me, which are you? God bless the ground. I shall walk softly there and learn by going where I have to go. Light takes the tree, but who can tell us how? The lowly worm climbs up a winding stair. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. Great nature hath another thing to do to you and me. So take the lively air, and, lovely, learn by going where to go. This shaking keeps me steady. I should know. What falls away is always, and is near. I wake to sleep and take my waking slow. I learn by going where I have to go. William Carlos Williams, burning the Christmas greens. Their time passed, pulled down, cracked, and flung to the fire. Go up in a roar, all recognition lost, burnt clean, clean in the flame. The green dispersed, a living red, flame red, red as blood, wakes on the ash, and ebbs to a steady burning, the rekindled bed become a landscape of flame. At the winter's midnight, we went to the trees, the coarse holly, the balsam, and the hemlock for their green. At the thick of the dark, the moment of the cold's deepest plunge, we brought branches cut from the green trees to fill our need. And over doorways, above paper Christmas bells covered with tinfoil and fastened by red ribbons, we stuck the green prongs. In the windows hung woven wreaths, and above pictures, the living green. On the mantel we built a green forest, and among those hemlock sprays put a herd of small white deer, as if they were walking there. All this, and it seemed gentle and good to us. Their time passed. Relief. The room bare. We stuffed the dead grate with them upon the half-burned-out logs, smouldering eye-opening red and closing under them. And we stood there, looking down. Green is a solace, a promise of peace, a fort against the cold, though we did not say so, a challenge above the snow's hard shell. Green, we might have said, that, where small birds hide and dodge and lift their plaintive rallying cries, blocks for them and knocks down the unseeing bullets of the storm. Green spruce boughs pulled down by a weight of snow, transformed. Violence leapt and appeared, recreant, roared to life as the flame rose through, and our eyes recoiled from it. In the jagged flames, green to red, instant and alive, green, those sure abutments, gone, lost to mind, and quick in the contracting tunnel of the grate appeared a world, black mountains, black and red, as yet uncolored, and ash-white, an infant landscape of shimmering ash and flame, and we in that instant lost, breathless to be witnesses, as if we stood ourselves refreshed among the shining fauna of that fire. Two poems by T.S. Eliot. The first, The Burial of the Dead, and the second, A Game of Chess. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of the dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. Winter kept us warm, covering earth in forgetful snow, feeding a little life with dried tubers. Summer surprised us, coming over the Starnbergersee with a shower of rain. We stopped in the colonnade and went on in sunlight into the Hofgarten and drank coffee and talked for an hour. Bin gar keine Russen, stam aus Litauen, echt Deutsch. And when we were children staying at the Archduke's, my cousins, he took me out on a sled and I was frightened. He said, Marie, Marie, hold on tight, and down we went. In the mountains there you feel free. I read much of the night and go south in the winter. What are the roots that clutch? What branches grow out of this stony rubbish? Son of man, you cannot say or guess, for you only know a heap of broken images, where the sun beats and the dead tree gives no shelter, the cricket no relief, and the dry stone no sound of water. Only there is shadow under this red rock. Come in under the shadow of this red rock, and I will show you something different from either your shadow at morning striding behind you, or your shadow at evening rising to meet you. I will show you eternity in a handful of dust. You gave me hyacinths first. A year ago they called me the hyacinth girl. Yet when we came back late from the hyacinth garden, your arms full and your hair wet, I could not speak and my eyes failed. I was neither living nor dead, and I knew nothing, looking into the heart of light, the silence. Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyante, had a bad cold, nevertheless is known to be the wisest woman in Europe, with a wicked pack of cards. Here, she said, is your card, the drowned Phoenician sailor. Those are pearls that were his eyes. Look. This is Belladonna, the lady of the rocks, the lady of situations. Here is the man with 3 staves, and here the wheel, and here is the one-eyed merchant, and this card, which is blank. There's something he carries on his back, which I am forbidden to see. I do not find the hanged man, fear death by water. I see crowds of people walking round in a ring. Oh, thank you. If you see dear Mrs. Equitone, tell her I bring the horoscope myself. One must be so careful these days. Unreal city. Under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many, I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet. Flowed up the hill and down King William Street to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9. There I saw one I knew and stopped him, crying, Stetson, you who were with me in the ships at Miley, that corpse you planted last year in your garden, has it begun to sprout? Will it bloom this year, or has the sudden frost disturbed its bed? Oh, keep the dog far hence that's friend to men, or with his nails he'll dig it up again. You, hypocrite lecteur, mon semblable, mon frère. The chair she sat in, like a burnished throne, glowed on the marble, where the glass, held up by standards wrought with fruited vines, from which a golden Cupidon peeped forth, another hid his eyes behind his wing, doubled the flames of 7-branched candelabra, reflecting light upon the table as the glitter of her jewels rose to meet it from satin cases poured in rich profusion. In vials of ivory and colored glass, unstoppered, lurked her strange synthetic perfumes, unguent, powdered, or liquid, troubled, confused, and drowned the scents in odors. Stirred by the air that freshened from the window, these ascended in fattening the prolonged candle flames, flung their smoke into the lacqueria, stirring the pattern on the coffered ceiling. Huge seawood, fed with copper, burned, green and orange, framed by the colored stone, in which, sad light, a carved dolphin swam. Above the antique mantel was displayed, as though a window gave upon the sylvan scene, the change of Philomel, by the barbarous king so rudely forced. Yet there the nightingale fills all the desert with inviolable voice, and still she cried, and still the world pursues, jug, jug, to dirty ears. And other withered stumps of time were told upon the walls. Staring forms leaned out, leaning, hushing, the room enclosed. Footsteps shuffled on the stair. Under the firelight, under the brush, her hair, spread out in fiery points, glowed into words, then would be savagely still. My nerves are bad tonight, yes, bad. Stay with me, speak to me. Why do you never speak? Speak. What are you thinking of? What thinking? What? I never know what you are thinking. Think. I think we are in Rat's Alley, where the dead men lost their bones. What is that noise? The wind under the door. What is that noise now? What is the wind doing? Nothing, again nothing. Do you know nothing? Do you see nothing? Do you remember nothing? I remember those are pearls that were his eyes. Are you alive or not? Is there nothing in your head but, oh, 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 that Shakespearean rag? It's so elegant, so intelligent. What shall I do now? What shall I do? I shall rush out as I am and walk the street with my hair down so. What shall we do tomorrow? What shall we ever do? The hot water at 10, and if it rains, a closed car at 4. And we shall play a game of chess, pressing lidless eyes and waiting for the knock upon the door. When Nell's husband got demobbed, I said, I didn't mince my words, I said to her myself, hurry up, please, it's time. Now Albert's coming back, make yourself a bit smart. You want to know what you've done with that money he gave you to get yourself some teeth? He did, I was there. You have them all out, Lil, and get a nice set, he said. I swear I can't bear to look at you. And no more can't I said. And think of poor Albert. He's been in the army 4 years. He wants a good time. And if you don't give it to him, there's others will, I said. Oh, is there, she said. Something of that, I said. Then I'll know who to thank, she said, and gave me a straight look. Hurry up, please, it's time. If you don't like it, you can get on with it, I said. Others can pick and choose if you can't. But if Albert makes off, it won't be for lack of telling. You ought to be ashamed, I said, to look so antique. And her only 31. I can't help it, she said, pulling a long face. It's them pills I took to bring it off, she said. She's had 5 already and nearly died of young George. The chemist said it would be all right, but I've never been the same. You are a proper fool, I said. Well, if Albert won't leave you alone, there it is, I said. What you get married for if you don't want children? Hurry up, please, it's time. Well, that Sunday Albert was home. They had an hot gammon, and they asked me in to dinner to get the beauty of it hot. Hurry up, please, it's time. Hurry up, please, it's time. Good night, Bill. Good night, Lou. Good night, May. Good night. Ta-ta, good night. Good night. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Marianne Moore's poetry is published by the Macmillan Company. Ezra Pound's The River Merchant's Wife, A Letter, and William Carlos Williams' Burning the Christmas Greens by New Directions, and Theodore Roethke's The Waking by Doubleday. T.S. Eliot's The Journey of the Magi, The Burial of the Dead, and Game of Chess are copyright Faber and Faber. A.E. Housman's When I Was 1 and 20